What we're looking at here is a depiction of the spinal cord. The spinal cord runs from the foramen magnum inferiorly to lumbar vertebrae number 1. The spinal cord has 31 pairs of spinal nerves coming off of it. Please keep in mind the spinal cord is part of the central nervous system, whereas those 31 pairs of spinal nerves are part of the peripheral nervous system. Nerves are always part of the peripheral nervous system. There are 4 regions to the spinal cord: cervical region, thoracic region, lumbar region, and a sacral region. What we see here in this image are 2 enlargements, one at the cervical region of the spinal cord known as the cervical enlargement and the lumbar enlargement. Coming off the inferiormost aspect of the spinal cord is a collection of nerve fibers known as the cauda equina. This green structure right here is the filum terminale, which binds to the coccygeal vertebrae, helping secure the spinal cord. Here's a cross-section of the spinal cord. This region right here is anterior. This is posterior. This is the dorsal median fissure. This is the ventral median fissure. One thing about the spinal cord, the gray matter is towards the interior, where we see in purple here, and the white matter is off to the periphery, and that is the inverse of what we saw in the cerebral hemispheres. These structures right here are known as the ventral horns. These are the dorsal horns. The dorsal horns are where sensory neurons are going to terminate, and it's also going to be where dendrites for inner neurons are going to be located. The ventral horns contain the cell bodies of motor neurons, and these right here are the lateral horns. The lateral horns contain neurons of the sympathetic nervous system. The structure going from left to right or horizontally is known as a commissure, and right in the middle of it is the central canal. So this right here is a spinal nerve. This is a spinal nerve. Those are paraspinal nerves. Nerves are a collection of axons. The axons can be sensory axons. They can be motor axons. This right here is what houses cell bodies of sensory neurons. This is what's known as a dorsal root ganglia. This is the dorsal root. This is the ventral root. Dorsal root, ventral root, dorsal root ganglia. So if we take a closer look at this, we have a motor neuron with the cell body in the ventral horn and the axon going down the ventral root and then joining up into the nerve fiber. This is our typical unipolar sensory neuron that is terminating in the dorsal horn and synapsing with an inner neuron. Now, this inner neuron could be doing one of 2 things. It could be going superiorly up to the brainstem and then en route to the cerebral cortex. Or if this were a reflex loop, it would immediately be synapsing with the motor neuron, sending a signal back through that same nerve that it arrived on.